When I say our podcasts are live and uncut, you'll hear that today. And as usual, Rodney and I talk about all kinds of stuff. And we even ask that age-old question, how did blues singers get away with those very suggestive lyrics for all these years?
Now, this is a first that I get a phone call that says spam.
Yeah. Now we get them quite often here because they started that new program here where it comes up and it says spam, then it gives you the name of the number or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the first time I saw it here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we get it that says spam, because if you don't get the verified thing, it'll say
Right.
spam. But this is the first time I saw spam. Then it was a question mark, then the phone number.
Mm.
I hadn't seen that before. Ain't no telling what they've upgraded though here.
Yeah, because it's once again with technology and stuff. I mean, we get phone calls. Like I've gotten phone calls that said the VA.
Yeah.
Answer the phone, and it's some foreign person wanting to talk about Medicare.
Yeah.
I've gotten phone calls that came up with somebody's name, and sometimes you be thinking, well, I did call here or there. That's probably them calling back. Once again, some spam call with somebody talking about Medicare, and the last time the guy called, he said, I want to talk to you about Medicare, and I barely could understand. I had to ask him 2 or 3 times, and the final time when I finally understood, he was saying Medicare. I said, I'm not eligible for Medicare, and hang the phone up.
I'm telling you, man. They're doing the same thing that they did with like with the mail. They're graduating on to messages and phones, because you know how you used to get those official looking documents that it'll say like the VA on the outside. Once you get in there, you see that fine print at the bottom.
Right.
So they're not actually even trying to make the document look like a government form. That's what they're doing on the phone now. When you get there, that looks official, and then answer it. But we get a ton of those that emu commercial, the
Liberty Mutual.
Yeah, Liberty Mutual, and just all that kind of stuff in the car warranty stores and all that good stuff. So I don't even answer it, man. If the phone rings and it doesn't have anybody that's loaded into my phone to give me a name, I don't even answer it.
Yeah, that's where I am too. If it ain't a number that's been verified, I don't bother answering it either. And between that and my email, I get all these emails for CBD gummies and the cure for diabetes, and just do this, and I go in. Of course, I do that unsubscribe thing, and it tells you, give us 7 to 14 days to get you off the list, kind of thing. And I think all it does is just put you on another list.
Exactly. I get a lot of those too. My son, Dad, I'm so sorry you're getting that. I don't know what I did to deserve all this. Well, one of it is like when we started doing what we're doing, I never used my Yahoo account because I could never remember the address.
Right.
And so I started using that. And then all of a sudden I started getting all kind of Yahoo messages from these I don't know what they call them, these girls trying to solicit for deets and stuff, and something alluding to sex and all this. I'm like, good God Almighty, man! I mean, clicking that mess off, and they still get it. I still get it. And text messages and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And, one time I'm like, well, I got a couple of email addresses. I'm just going to start using this other one all the time. And then it's like, well, but I've given, the normal home email to so many different people and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't completely go away from it. And that's the one that usually gets the most of the spam emails in. And like I say, I just go ahead and unsubscribe. I don't know how good that's doing though.
Right. Yeah. If you can find it. The unsubscribe.
Yeah. Or I've even gotten some that you click on the unsubscribe link and this warning comes up saying this is a unsecured site or whatever. And do you still want to go there and stuff? And I'm like, well, no, probably some kind of bogus site. I don't want to go there.
Right.
So, it's like, okay, so I can't unsubscribe because it's a bad site to go to unsubscribe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they got it rigged. Ain't no doubt about that. Make it harder for you to get out of.
Did you look at the that NBA All-Star game?
Couldn't take it. Couldn't take. Well, let me take that lie back. I was online reading some stuff, and Steph Curry is my boy. So I was reading on there and said, "Oh, All-Star game is going on. Steph Curry done hit 16 3-pointers." Then the curiosity got me. I was like, "Oh, damn!" So I turned it on the game. Well, that was already out. I guess the game was on some kind of little delay or whatever, and so he had only like about 9 or 10 at that time. But I watched it from that point on. I knew he was going to get 16. So when he got to 16, then I cut it off. Well, yeah, I watched that little portion of it, but I wasn't planning to watch none of it until they said that. Because, I mean, that Matador defense, and then all it is just like he tried to do anyway. Old glory hound LeBron waited till the last minute to try to steal the MVP. Hitting a winning shot and all that. I couldn't have planned it any better. No, you sure couldn't. That dude is so conceited, man. I've tried to like him. I just don't. Anytime I see a brother do half of anything and running down the court, looking out the corner of his eye, see what camera's on him, he just don't. He don't strike me as a genuine dude. And I ain't got nothing against him other than I just don't like who he is. He's too conceited for me. And then the NBA, them referees, they done they let him just run over people. He lowers his shoulder and just knock people out the way, and they don't call it. Let somebody else do it. They're gonna call a charging foul on him. So,
Well, see, that was the same way I used to feel about Michael Jordan when he played.
yeah,
I felt that when it came down to, especially the crunch time in a big game, he got away with more than anybody. I mean, just like that game when he pushed off on, I forgot what the boy's name was, to make that shot and stuff.
Byron Russell.
Russell, yeah.
I think his name is Brian, but he said he couldn't stand Michael Jordan for calling him Byron.
so that's the way I used to feel about Michael Jordan. But the thing about it, I guess it's just a matter of getting old. It just, as I'm looking at the game, I'm thinking, who?
Yes.
Who?
Yes.
Who's that? I mean, that was LeBron and a few of the old guys that were still there playing. But for the most part, I don't know these young guys.
No, I don't either.
I don't know. And then you look at the top 75 that they brought out there, and I'm like, well, damn, I remember when some of the oldest ones on that group were still playing.
Right.
I guess it's just a matter of getting old, and I must admit, I don't keep up with the NBA. Nothing like I used to. I used to be, if there was a game on, I was watching it.
You better know it.
And that's where my Spurs were, they were winning and stuff. So I even had more reason to watch. But now I told Madison, he was, he's still watching big time. And I said, brother, I can't hardly even argue with you no more because I don't watch it enough to even have an argument, about players and stuff. Because I don't know what it is. It just don't hit me like it used to.
It ain't appealing no more because, see, we had a relationship with the players because you watched them through college because there wasn't nobody doing one and dones.
Right.
We saw somebody play at a college for 4 years or 3, and you can kind of see what kind of ball player. Now they're getting these young brothers coming in after 1 year. Well, it's going to take them 3 years to develop. So they just young names out there running up and down the court. And then they look up and pick. These general managers, they trip me out. They try to act like they know so much. But you got a pool of 500 players and you pick 2 that end up being stars right away. That ain't no hell of a percentage. And because nobody knew Ja Morant or that he was going to turn into what he's turned into. But now, man, you turn on there, and when I I got league pass, and the only reason I got league pass is because the Warriors started off hot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't watch it enough. I watch when they play, but that's pretty much it. And I just don't. It ain't that interesting to me anymore.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know when I sort of got away from it. It's got to been, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago that I
Hmm.
just almost stopped watching entire. I got to the point to where I would pick it back up during the playoffs. I watched the
Yeah,
playoffs, and then
yeah.
go into the finals and things like that. And then I just sort of stopped doing that. I might pick up a game, part of a game, every now and then, now, but I don't know. It just seemed like back in the day, the team sort of had their own character. I mean, I think teams like the Celtics
Yep.
and the Pistons back in their day, the bad boys,
Right.
and the Lakers were always there. And then, even a team like the Knicks and those kind of teams, they all seemed like they had their personalities and things as a team. And
Hmm.
you either liked them or you didn't like them.
Right.
And there was always players on the team that you liked and didn't like and that kind of thing. But I guess I'm just letting it get so far away from me now. Like I say, I know about LeBron. I know about, Davis and Chris Paul and Steph and those guys. I mean, some of the marquee players, older
Hmm.
marquee players.
Right.
But these young dudes, I just don't know them anymore. I've sort of drifted away from the NBA.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you another thing that also caused me to drift away was the saturation. Now that they got these individual sports channels, used to be when the season came, boy, you were ready for it because you ain't
Mhm.
seen no football, you ain't seen no basketball. Hell, the season never ends now. You can turn on NBA TV or NFL Network or Major League Baseball if that's the deal, and you can watch a whole game every Sunday. And we used to get excited for the exhibition games.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and now, man,
Yeah.
I don't even pay. The only reason I got league pass is because I got tired of my brother-in-law calling me. Because I was like, well, watching Golden State, I can do that when they come on Saturday. That's all I need. That's enough for me. And he would call me. Yeah, I'm sitting here watching these Warriors, man. Oh, they playing good, And then it felt like I was missing something. So, then I said, well, shit, I'm gonna get league pass this year, just to check it out. Well, actually, I didn't. That was last year that I
Mhm.
called in and got it, and just like what we talk about with these other credit cards and all that. So this year, I was like, well, I ain't gonna mess with it. I'll leave it alone. Then the game came on because beginning of the year they always give you that free week.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, okay, I got my free week there. And Golden State started playing good. I was like, oh, okay. So then it stayed on. I was like, oh, I guess I'm thinking I'm getting away with something, right? So finally, I called down there. I got my bill. That's what it was. And then they added it on. Wait a minute, what's up? Well, the bill. Oh, well, we renewed your league pass. I said, I didn't authorize nobody to renew my league pass. You know, well, sir, we just automatically do it unless you call and cancel it. I'm like, boy, this is something else. So I was kind of hot, and I was like, yeah. And I thought about it. So, well, I'm gonna look at it this year, but after this season, I'm gonna call and cancel it. I don't want to be paying that money for something that I rarely watch. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to be careful with that with Sirius XM radio too.
oh, no
They
doubt.
they
Oh,
they they do the
ju-
same thing.
just
And what
went
I started doing,
just went
uh,
through it.
yeah, probably 4 or 5 years, because that was something else I told myself years ago. I ain't gonna buy that. I ain't in my car long enough to justify. So I could see if he was taking a cross country trip and you trying to tune in stations and things. I ain't gonna never do that. Well, I guess 5 6 years, maybe even more ago, I finally got it, and I've had it ever
Hmm.
since. And I got it
Hmm.
in the house, and I got it in the car, and everything. And I learned way back then, if you don't call them and cancel it, they'll
Yeah.
go ahead and renew, and they usually will renew at their sort of highest price kind of
Yes,
thing.
sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Marion told me, she said, you got to call before they renew. So I started like if my subscription ends in March, I put a reminder on my calendar to call Sirius XM, in February before this, and and every time I call in, because the renewal price is going to be like, $190, $200. I call in, I say, I don't think I'm going to renew now. I don't really
Exactly.
watch it that, I listen to it that much. I don't drive a whole lot, blah, 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 blah. The guy like, okay, we can give it to you for $5. I'm like, okay,
Uh-huh. Oh,
okay, I'll take it then. And I
yes,
do
sir.
that every year. I call in about a month before it gets ready to expire, and I tell them I ain't going to renew it again. And the guy said, we can make you a great deal. We can make you a great, keep you as a customer. What about if we give it to you the same price you had it for the last year? I said,
Right.
okay, go ahead and do it. So, but yeah, they will renew it for you if you don't call them.
Oh yeah, I just did that last month, and I don't keep up with it. When I know it, they done sent me uh uh like if it expired in January, well, I get the February bill on a monthly basis.
Hmm, hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I looked up there, and mind you, I keep the bill in the envelope and all the information who I talk to, and of course I never remember where I put the crap. And but I just wait and I call them. Look, I just got a bill from you guys, and I go through the same spiel as you were talking about. I said, man, I ain't paying that much to listen to no music. I got music here I can listen to. Oh well, we can give you a premium price, and this is I forget what it was because on the last guy I talked to when I bought my other car, I was like, I want them all on the same bill, like I've always had them. Well, I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. I said, what do you mean you can't do it? That's the way I had it first. So I was getting a separate bill. So the one came in for my last car that I bought, and it was like almost $400. You crazy in hell? You think I'm gonna pay $400? Oh, sir. And then it irritates me, and I know these people need work too, but they give you somebody that can't speak real English,
English, yeah,
so I'm like, can you repeat that? And and then when they have to read their little disclosure, it's towards the outrageous price they charge, but they really gonna take it off. And I was like, wait, hold up. Didn't you just say? She goes, I said, okay, all right then. So I went through that, man. And I was like, okay. Now she said, oh no, sir, we can put it all on one bill. I'm like, well, thank you. You know, uh, but well, next year, we'll have to you give you that premium price again. I said, yeah, I know. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. Tell y'all that I ain't doing that. I told Rosin though this year when it renews, I'm not gonna renew on my on that in Infinity. We tend to neglect it. It sits in the garage for a while, so I
right.
drive it. And perfectly good car, but I like driving my truck, and she like driving her car. So, but I'm gonna take it off of there. I make quick little runs in it. I don't need no music for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well,
hey,
that's what I was having to make that same decision this football season with NFL tickets
yeah,
because
mhm,
being in the Titans market, they can't show out
yeah.
of this area games if they're playing at home, and I mean I don't know what all the rules are. And of course, I got to see my Cowboys. So I said, well, I'll just go ahead. Well, you can't buy just
A team.
NFL ticket. You have to buy Direct TV
Oh,
because
okay.
Direct TV, I think this may be the last year, it may even change, but Direct TV for the last, I forgot how many years, owns NFL Sunday Ticket. So
Hmm.
to get NFL Sunday Ticket, you have to buy Direct TV. Even you can get the very basic package, but you have to buy Direct TV first to get Sunday Ticket. So I
Hmm.
called down and I was like, okay, how much is it going to be cost for me to get Direct TV and get NFL Sunday Ticket? And she told me how much it was going to be because that Sunday Ticket is like $175, $180, something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I said, okay. So I went back and I looked at the schedule. I said, okay, the Cowboys play here, but Titans are on their bye week. Cowboys play here, but they play on Thursday, so that ain't gonna be. I counted up all the whole schedule, and I
Right.
said, "Well, damn, there's only going to be really maybe two games that might be in conflict." I'm
Hmm.
like, "Shit, I ain't paying all that kind of money just to watch two games." I said, "I could buy a ticket and go down to the thing, or go out to one to go to Hooters or
Yeah,
somewhere like
yeah.
that and just watch it down there. Buffalo Wild Wings, they all show the games on big screens and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
one year I did that. One year I got a subscription for DirecTV just to watch NFL ticket. And I said, no, I ain't paying this kind of money again, because like I say, there was only a couple of games that I wasn't going to be able to get. So yeah, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's crazy some of the stuff you do, just
Yeah,
to watch a ball game. But
yep.
I ain't know. I said I ain't going. And as a matter of fact, this last year I kept the two games that were in conflict. I said I'm gonna go to this a little chicken joint that called Champy's. I was gonna go to. I didn't even go there. I just waited till they showed the replay on NFL Network. I
Yeah,
didn't.
there
I
you
didn't even
go.
go. Yeah, I just
Exactly.
watched the play. I just waited till the rerun came on.
Well, see what I've done with the NBA prior to this year, what I would do is wait till December, January, half the season, right at the All Star game.
Uh huh.
Then it's on sale for $99 for the rest of the year. So I would do that rather than, because it's $199 for the entire year.
Right. Right.
And even though you can break it up into payments, but still, that's just, I ain't, well, I done learned I ain't gonna say what I ain't gonna do, because I said I would never pay for satellite radio. And now man, I just think about it. All the shit that we pay for, the same thing with my, uh, what do you call it with GM? The car tracker thing. I can't think
Oh,
of that.
the OnStar.
OnStar. Man, it's just amazing how you get lazy for shit. I got the you got the satellite the deal on the car where you can punch in the address to go. But I done got so used to just hitting that blue button. Yeah, I'm going here. Give you the address, da da da, and they punch it in, and it just pops up on the screen, turn by turn. I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay. But I always call and say, look, man, I ain't paying all that. What can you do for me? They bring it down. And but I'm like, boy, all of this stuff you pay for, boy, just for convenience, man.
Yeah. But once again, I think back in them old days when we would drive from San Antonio to home, and we'd go
Mhm.
through Texas and Arkansas, depending on which way we went to McMinnville first or went to Marion's folks in Alabama, and then you'd be leaving San Antonio. Of course, San Antonio, the best R&B station was KAPE, and it was AM. It didn't go
Yeah,
very far outside the city. So
right.
y'all remember them old days of turning that dial on the radio, trying to pick up a
Trying to
station,
find.
and then one comes in, boom, 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 boom. You think, all right, I got one, and then you drive like 2 miles, and it goes right away.
Yeah,
So you got to go and turn the tuner again, the button and stuff. So I mean, from that standpoint, I like the fact of satellite radio, because
yeah,
you could do that. You can listen to games, and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like you. I said one time I said, well, I don't need satellite radio. I don't drive far enough and long enough to justify that. Well, I've had it probably going on probably closer to 10 years now, you
exactly.
know, in
That's
the house
exactly.
and in the car.
That's right. Cause shit, I mean, we used to, boy, when surprised we didn't run in the back of somebody up there trying to twist that knob,
Yeah.
and boy, don't let you hear one song with all that static in it. Oh, found one, you know, and because generally we had to wait till we got almost to Killeen to find something.
Right.
And into Dallas, you could ride to Dallas and halfway to home, and then but I was driving years before they even got to where they had anything there. And like you said, I was already at home by the time I could pick it up. So yeah, that's the one thing I was glad about it. We can, but I kind of got disappointed in it because good thing they have multiple stations. Because boy, you can, if you're driving a good little distance, boy, you can listen to your one channel there to the point where you said they just played that. They got the little recorded stuff and playing it over and over, and it's like, come on, man. Uh,
Yeah.
we
And see,
found.
that's what I never realized, that Rodney, that they did that until, after
Hmm.
we had it and I was listening to I thought, I'm like, all the music that's been played for all these years, they should be able to go through and play a different song. Of course, you're going to go repeat at some point, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe every month or two, they would you had to play something over kind of thing. No, yeah, you're exactly right. I've done the same thing too. Man, they just played that.
Yeah.
So I guess what they do is they go out, they have to pay royalties for the songs. So
Mm-hmm.
they go out and buy so many at a time, and they'll play them during that stretch of time. I don't know if it's a month or how it does it. But yeah, that was something that was
Mm-hmm.
surprising to me when I heard the first song being played again.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have gone home like on a Friday, and we're coming back Sunday, and they'll be talking about an interview they did on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's Sunday, and they're playing the same old music. And then they'll get back into playing what we listened to Friday going down there. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. They'll do that. I'll switch between, like, I'll listen to the groove for a while, and I'll listen to Soul Town. Think
mm-hmm.
about Soul Town. They play music that I don't even. I mean,
Yeah,
40s and 50s music I don't even remember. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
yeah,
And Heart and Soul, I'll listen to that. Sometimes I'll even put it on that 70s on 7 and listen to a variety,
yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
music. So it does give you an opportunity to listen to a lot of different varieties of music and stuff. But yeah, they play songs over and over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But see, I got a different dilemma in my car. I got a hip hopster. and it ain't my kids.
I know you told me when you first told me that Rosa listened to hip hop and rap. I said, no. Rosa wouldn't
Man,
listen to nothing like that. Oh, yes, she does.
man, I'm telling you, 'cause see, I listen to Soul Town, I listen to the groove. I, the happy medium is heart and soul, because they play a little bit of it all. But oh God, I married an old man. I'm like, hell, you just as old as I am. Shit. Then, compromise. We turn it over there and listen to all that. And you know me, brother. You know I ain't no prude. I was like, what the hell did he say? They be having some raunchy. She was just over there singing it. Yeah, that's my song. I want you to. I was like, oh Lord,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
man, it's something. And then now she done graduated to the Uncut. She getting all the words. Usually they. Because one time we was riding down there, some girl got some song out of there, and she's singing the uh, uh, big D energy.
Uh-huh.
You got the big D energy, but that ain't, that's what they were saying on it. They're saying like the big energy, right? And then I heard her saying it one day. I was like, what? So I got in the car after her one day, and it's got this rap double XL, just uncut. They ain't cutting nothing out. And this girl was talking about the big D energy. She didn't say D either. I'm like, what the hell is she listening to? Just all kind of stuff. Even that one song with uh, uh, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion talking about the what is it? The hot. What's the
I
name of
don't
this
know,
song?
bro. I don't listen to that. I can't help you on that one.
I'd heard it on the clean version. It's the uh, damn, I can't think of the name of the song. But then I heard it on that XL. That ain't what they were saying. They were like, I was like, oh no. What's the name of that song? But hell, I know when I get in her car, I'm changing the station right off the bat. Like I said, I ain't no prude, but good God.
Yeah, yeah. To me, the first time I think I got in Tara's car, she had it on. Was it something Fly, XM Fly, or Fly something channel,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they were playing, and it was the uncut versions and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking, where are the censors at? You can't play that kind of stuff on radio. And then, of
Yeah,
course, it dawned on me, this ain't radio.
right.
This is very much uncensored. And I'm thinking, no, like, just like you, I can't listen to that.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, like you say, I've probably heard every word that they say in
Hmm.
there, but
Hmm.
it just sounded, when I first started hearing it, it just sounded so so crude. I'm like, no, I can't listen to that.
Man, I'm serious, boy. It's like, good Lord of mine, have me clutching my pearls, and I sure ain't no prude. But
Yeah, I tell you, it's amazing how things have changed when it comes to stuff like that. But I guess with their deregulation and stuff, it's like on the internet, you can find just about anything you want on the internet. But
oh, it's that WAP song.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that. I was like, uh, uh, I forget how they say it in the clean version, but ever since I've been tainted, ever since I heard the real version. Oh, like
Oh,
what did she say? Good Lord of mercy.
yeah.
But
And I was listening to matter of fact, I was listening to the groove. I guess it was it Sunday. I went out and doing my walk, and they had Bootsy Collins on there. He was like emceeing the top 25
mm-hmm,
funk songs,
mm-hmm,
and he was talking about how back in that time, that was probably the mid 70s, early to mid 70s, how the word funk was really, they couldn't say that at first.
right,
It
right.
was censored. They couldn't say the word funk. And then finally, as people, I guess, George Clinton, those people try to explain to people that it wasn't a bad word. They weren't trying to, say a bad word that people thought, they was trying to say, that they started letting them, say, and they would play it on the radio and stuff. But I'm like, man, if you think back about what they was censoring back then, and just like you said, what they playing now, that was nothing.
So I'm telling you,
That wasn't nothing.
nothing at all. But
Yeah.
I do give her some credit on. She said, "Well, you listen to that blues, boy. 'Cause half the time when I'm listening to blues, I'll be cracking up because they will have creative ways of saying the same thing."
Yeah. See, that's what Tamara, I do the same thing on Saturday morning. And Tamara told me the same thing. You listen to that nasty music. I said, not nasty music. It's now, you know what they're saying. And like I said, I started thinking about some of the songs.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, yeah,
yeah.
bone it like you own it, and that kind of stuff. Man in the boat and all that kind of stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
man.
like you say, you know what they say, but they
Yep.
can get away with it because they ain't used a curse word. They hadn't used
Boy,
anything.
they
But
were creative.
yeah,
You
very
know.
much so. But she said, then she come telling me, Disco Lady came on. She said, see, that's another one right there. I said, what are you talking about? That's another than nasty song. And I'm like, damn, they're talking about just dancing, not about push it in, pull it out, and all that kind of stuff. I said, they're talking about your body. They ain't talking about sex. She said, yeah, right. I'm like, never thought about Disco Lady that way until you said that.
I'm telling you, it's the truth, boy. 'Cause I'm the same way. On Saturdays, I just get up and listen to that blues, man. I even crack up sometimes when I'm, dang, that's what he's saying, huh? They have some creative ways of saying the same thing that these rappers are saying,
They
just
do.
point blank. You know,
Yeah.
like the dude Marvin C's talking about the candy liquor. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They have them. It's just a matter of, like I say, they don't use the bad word, but it leaves nothing to the imagination. You know exactly what they're talking about.
exactly,
You know
exactly.
exactly what they're talking about.
I was
But
like,
yeah,
yeah, I guess you got a point there. It uh, but I listen to my jazz, so I'm like, okay, but my Saturday morning ritual, I get in there
yeah,
and listen to that blues, boy.
yeah. I got some of that. I got some of that on my my iPod. I got in the car. I got that old. I got every time it come on, they all crack up too. I got that old Clarence Carter stroking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, that was good
Boy,
music, man.
I heard that, man. It was funny though. Back when I was down in Panama City, me and my partner Rodney, we used to DJ at a few little events around there. The people he worked with and stuff. Man, we get
Mhm.
down there and we, a lot of them was mixed crowd. It'd be more white people than would be black people. Man, we put stroking on. They all hit the floor. Boy. And me and Marion went and saw him in concert a number of years back. And
Mhm.
I must admit, he sounded as original. And I don't know if they had pre-taped the music or not, but to me, he sounded as original as any other groups on the on the thing that
On the,
night. I mean,
yeah.
it sounded just like himself. I hope they weren't piping the music in,
Hmm.
but I didn't realize there were some other songs he had too. That I mean, I knew he had Patches. I remember Patches
Yeah.
and Stroking, but there was a couple other songs I had actually forgot about
Hmm.
that he had put out. But yeah, I like to listen to the blues, and if you listen to them, it it almost brings back that memory of they probably was in some. It may not even been a recording studio. It may be in somebody's garage with some
Hmm.
tape players go. I mean, you sort of get that kind of image of how they do their music,
Yeah.
But
They had them old mattresses standing upside the wall
yeah, yeah,
for the soundproof, you know. Yes, sir. That
yeah,
was some good music though. Well, I was sitting there. Somebody sent something on Facebook. I was sitting there listening to BB King and Bobby Blue Bland. Boy, I was like, it brought back memories of growing up. And them dudes was talented, man.
yeah.
You know.
They had a tough road too, going hitting all them that Chitlin circuit and that
Yes, sir.
going them little hole in the wall places where you didn't know if a fight's going to break out or whatever. Yeah, they had a tough road on them buses in the heat of the summer and stuff
Down south.
down south. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
a
We were growing up. We were worse than uh, the grown folks. Cause I'll never forget. In our neighborhood, every time somebody was coming to the Sigma House or to the Top Hat, is what they call it. They put them blue signs on the telephone pole. Say all who's coming. Boy, that's when they showed up. There would be about 8, 9 acts in there. Boy, you finna have a show. And
yeah,
James Brown, all them dudes used to come through there, boy. And most of the time the fights broke out because the dude's wife was out there trying to get with him.
oh yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I remember they used to have, but they didn't have the big acts come through back Memphis as much. They just had well-known sort of local bands from like from Nashville and places like that. But I remember they used to staple them posters to the telephone
to the
poles in the
telephone
neighborhood.
pole. Yep.
Yeah, you
Yep.
go up there, them colorful posters with who all was coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
But then again, uh, uh, even the ones like James Brown and Tyrone Davis and all them kind of people, BB King, they weren't as big as they ended up being. I mean, they were on
right.
the chitlin circuit, so none of them was really getting that Ed Sullivan treatment yet when when they was coming through. But that led to it, boy, because there was some talented dudes come through there, man.
That's why I tell people about Roger Trotman and Zapp. I said
Yeah,
before they were Roger Trotman and Zapp, they were playing the Airmen's Club. They were playing the Air Force circuit out in
yeah,
Texas. They'd
yeah.
be up at Shepherd one weekend, then come down to
That's where
Lackland
I
the next
saw 'em.
weekend.
That's where I saw him up at Shepherd. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
James Brown on his decline I saw him at Shepherd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on there with his cape throwing it off. Please, please. Yeah, go ahead, James.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's before he decided he wanted to try to run away from the cops in his truck and stuff.
yeah. Got out and did the good foot and never. I forgot who that was. So they pulled James over. James got out of the truck and did the good foot. I said, "What's the problem?"
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that very, very well.
yeah, man. Old James to the bitter end, boy. He was performing. But yeah, I saw Roger Troutman, and there was somebody else I saw too down at Lackland. I think it was uh,
Well, we went and saw Lou Rawls down at the amphitheater one summer. He was down there. That's when
yeah,
he had you never find another love like mine.
yeah, yeah.
He had that was sort of his hit, his sort of comeback hit during that time.
Hmm.
He was down at the amphitheater. We went down there
I
and
want to say I saw also, but I mean, this was in basic training, I want to say, but I don't know if groups was coming there then. But it seems like it was over there in one of them deals where I saw, uh, shit, We used to see him in England all the time. Well, Jeffrey Daniels. It was Jeffrey Daniels, Howard Hewitt, and
Oh,
that
Shalimar?
Yeah, Shalimar. I want to say we saw them down there. What was her name? Jody Watley.
Yeah, and Jody Watley. Yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah,
Shalimar. Probably so. Because they would
yeah,
have some groups like that would come through.
yeah, yeah. I want to say we saw them down there, and then I saw the other two at Shepherd Air Force Base. But shit, I mean, when I saw Jeffrey Daniels over in England, boy, he had shaved side of his head. You remember Top of the Pops?
Yeah. Yep. Remember that.
Yeah,
Remember
I was
that.
like, yeah, somebody told me that was Jeffrey Daniels. I'm like, hell, I didn't even recognize him. He didn't shave half his head.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't look quite the same,
Mm-mm.
you know. And it seemed like when it came to Shalimar, they just had too many personalities on there between Howard Hewitt and
Oh
Jody
yeah,
Watley. They just had too many. You know, they really were solos. They really needed to be solo
yeah,
singers.
oh yeah. Everybody wanted to be the star.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know.
Jeffrey Daniel was sort of a throw in. He's like, he wasn't going to lead any group, but he just happened to be there with them. But
Yeah,
Jody and Howard Hewitt, yeah,
but
they just
his
couldn't coexist.
yeah, and his role was just like that with Guy. You know that one brother could sing his ass off, and his brother was over there. He was just a dancer.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what Jeffrey Daniels was. You
Well,
know.
if you think about a group like the OJ's, it was like
Hmm.
who was the third guy? Everybody knew Eddie Levert. Everybody knew Walt.
Yeah,
Who was,
Walter.
of course, the third guy changed a lot,
Yeah,
but Sammy Strain was there for a while. But that third person, people was like, oh, I don't remember the third guy.
yeah, he with
But
OJ.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was like that for a few groups. It's almost like they needed that.
Yeah.
They needed that voice, whether it was an alto or tenor or whatever they had. But when
Hmm.
it came down to it, people were like, who was the third guy? I don't know.
That's it. That's it. Like Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. Who's Harold? Everybody thought, you know, Teddy Pendergrass back there saying, "Oh, that's Harold Melvin right there." No, it ain't. That's why Harold
Yeah,
got mad.
yeah. And you
And then,
gotta, you almost gotta know the voice and the songs to pick out
hmm
the difference. Because there were a couple of songs that Harold Melvin was the lead on.
yeah, exactly.
Some of the earlier ones.
Right.
I forgot the name of it. I just popped in my head and it went out that quick. But the older sort of Harold Melvin and the Blue Note songs, that's where Teddy was lead.
Yes,
You
sir.
know. But yeah,
Yeah. Boy, the
that's
Teddy was tearing it up. It's the same way with Change with Luther.
Luther.
Because
Yeah,
everybody's
a
like,
lot of people don't know that was him.
yeah.
That
I'm
would
like,
change.
who was that dude? You know, I'm like, boy, that dude, that can sing, man.
Yeah, yeah. I was listening to an old shoot, what's his name's son?
Eddie
Uh,
Lever.
no, the guy from Motown.
Oh,
Had a kid with Diana Ross. Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy, yeah.
Barry Gordy. I think it was Barry Gordy's son. What was his name? He had a one-word name.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're
Uh,
talking about. Pretty boy.
yeah,
Uh,
I think he was gay. As I think about it,
yeah,
um,
he could go for that.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, they were playing his song, and I said, "Who is that on that song?" And they was listening. They said, "That sounds like Michael Jackson." I said, "That is Michael Jackson. He was on the song with." Oh man, I can't think of his name now, but he came out, and he only had a couple of hits,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
on that one song, Michael Jackson was on that song.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, uh, oh yeah, so was it that song "Watching Me"? I always feel like somebody's watching me. What was
Yeah.
his name? I can't think of his name now, but yeah, I mean, if you go back to some of those songs before they became stars, I mean, look at LTD.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Osborne will always lead, but I mean, he was in a group to
Oh,
start
yeah.
with.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, especially if they were on the same label, they trying to get a hit no matter what. So they would have people on there. I was listening to a song the other day. I was listening to some jazz, and this song came on, and I'm sitting there listening to it, and then I'm listening to the bass, and you can't tell me that was Wayman Tisdale that they had playing on bass.
Oh, really?
man, the way he was thumping, I said, "That's Wayman." I got all I don't know how many albums or CDs of Wayman Tisdale. I know Wayman Tisdale uh, 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 bass, and I can even he what was the brother's name? I can't even think of his name now. He's another well-known bassist, but anyway, he's the one that kind of took Wayman under his wing. Matter of fact, he spoke about him at his funeral,
Hmm.
and their motto was your fans should know who you are with the first few chords, and that's what they strive for. And I'll be dang if Wayman didn't do it, because I can tell as soon as I hear his bass, that's Wayman Tisdale,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's exactly what it was. They never said nothing. The album he was singing, he was playing on, didn't acknowledge him at all. But I said that's Wayman Tisdale. There, you can tell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine. So when you listen to that, I mean, there's people that have that unique sound. I even look back to the Isley Brother when they started to get a little bit away from their original roots, of sort of like
Hmm.
a doo-wop group, and when they came out with "Fight the Power," no song like that. Uh, the one brother, I can't. The one that he played bass too, but
Hmm.
he's the one that sort of changed their musical style that during that time. But man, it was more bass driven, and he
Hmm.
had that union. If you listen to "Fight the Power" and the bass part of "Fight the Power," you can
Hmm.
hear that same almost sound in other songs after that. I can't remember which brother it was now though. But yeah, yeah, you can tell the difference when someone got sort of that unique sound about
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Jonathan Butler. As soon as a couple of chords, I can. Oh, that's Jonathan Butler. Yeah, I can
Hmm.
tell. Who's what. So, but yeah, that's what. I can't believe I can't remember the brother. He wears that little hat on his head. Brother plays the bass. I got a couple of his CDs in here too. But he said, yeah, Wayman and I. When Wayman kicked in, I was telling him, you try to get him in the first few chords
Hmm.
and let him know who you are. And he did a good job of it, because you know, the dude was talented. He just, and we're talking about it now. I was on Facebook this morning when I was telling you about I got that notification. Somebody put Wayman Tisdale on there, his song that he sung with the country music guy that sang that Barry White song, which is nice. And it took me over to YouTube, so I got stuck over there. I clicked on the next one that he did. I listened to Wayman.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but yeah, they what's that boy's name? He had a restaurant down here too. He's from Oklahoma, country and western singer. But yeah, they sung that song.
Hey, folks, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.